Zebras belong to the horse family and are best known for their distinctive white and black stripes, with each zebra having its own unique pattern of stripes, just like fingerprints. There are 3 species of zebra: the plain zebra, gravy zebra, and the mountain zebra. Zebras generally stand from 4 to 5 feet at the shoulder and weigh around 300 kilograms. The largest species, gravy zebra, can weigh up to 450 kilograms. Zebras can be found in a variety of habitats, such as grasslands, savannas, woodlands, thorny scrublands, mountains, and coastal hills. When the group is alarmed, it takes to flight with the first 5 dominant females or mares in the front and the stallions bringing up the rear. Like horses, zebras walk, trot, canter, and gallop. They are generally slower than horses, but their great stamina helps them to outpace their predators. Bachelor males either live alone of other bachelors until they're old enough to challenge a breeding stallion. Like most animal species, female zebras mature earlier than males, and a mare may have her first foal by the age of 3. Zebras have a gestation period of 12 months. Zebras have a lifespan of 20 years.
This is NTV.
We know that all music is beautiful. We know that all music is beautiful. And that's why NTV brings you The Catalogue. Every day at 2:15 p.m. with the classics on Monday, reggae on Tuesday, country on Wednesday, Africa on Thursday, and love ballads on Friday.
You're like a dream come true. Just wanna be with you.
The beautiful sound of music only on NTV, your official music station. We know that all
a message yali ku the last piece of a jambia yali muhadi wa yonna.
No, bloody way, holy moly.
We've just met. How can I be your friend? Mr. Rashmond. Okuzimba nyumba nga kintu kizibu nnyo banange mugumire mu bupangisa. Come.
I'm called Olar Oton. There's no English name. Just like resistance, Yakazol.
Yeah, blame you. You have option of getting international husband. What?
Tragic end. 13 killed on spot and scores injured in an accident at a highway.
Tonight, the Prime Minister returns to the drawing board as MPs insist on a 260 billion shillings package for health workers. Also coming up on the program, Kampala MP Mohamed Nsereko is arraigned in court over assault charges, and the country continues to reel from the news of yet another road carnage at a deadly black spot along the Masaka-Mbarara highway. And it is from this story that we'll derive our NTV poll question, so be sure to join us and contribute to it. But it's Tuesday night, the 18th of September 2012. A very warm welcome to this edition of NTV Tonight. Join me and Rachel later on, though first let's have a look at what you can expect on the program.
MPs defy President Museveni as they refuse to pass the budget, demanding for more allocations to the health sector.
Kampala Central MP charged with causing grievous bodily harm after an attack on a police officer.
Also tonight, investigations widen. Another official arrested over a 63 billion shilling payment to ghost pensioners.
A very warm welcome to NTV Tonight. I am Rachel Arinitwe.
And I'm Gabriel Apeno. Thank you for joining us. Now tonight the spotlight turns to road accidents as 14 people are killed on spot while 40 others have sustained injuries after a bus belonging to Horizon Bus Company overturned after it failed to negotiate a sharp corner at Malongo, about 60 kilometers from Masaka town.
Now, according to some of these survivors, the bus driver was drunk by the time he started the journey from Kisoro.
Well, the injured have been admitted at different hospitals. Among them are Masaka Referral Hospital, Lwengo and Mulago hospitals.
NTV's Solomon Seranja reports.
What is left of the Horizon bus registration number UAM 937B speaks volumes about the intensity of the accident that happened at about 2 a.m. this morning. The bus whose destination was Kampala from Kisoro overturned and burst into flames after failing to negotiate a corner at Malongo along Masaka Road.
kubanga kwebuwa gweki okuba ngegende mabega atiba ibasi negenda nebagotemire kubeki
nabadde nebase nempulira ekigo ekyamaanyi kati mukudduka nga tenengera wali engeri y'omuliro neŋŋamba emmotoka egudde eyase nenzijanga nziruka n'abatonotono emmotoka ezabadde zigenda e Kampala ezitisa amatooke ku budde obwo nezipaakinga nabo ne badduukirira ne tutuukirawo wamu.
According to eyewitnesses, 13 people died on spot, including some who were burnt beyond recognition. One died on the way to hospital, while 42 survived.
Abasinga emirambo ekisinga obungi nga mu 6-7 tekitegeerekeka bulungi babayita beyond recognition.
The injured were rushed to different hospitals, including the Antonde, Masaka and Mulago, where they are currently being treated. Some of the survivors revealed that they had earlier warned the driver to reduce on the speed, but in vain. The manager of Horizon Buses ruled out poor mechanical condition of the bus as a cause of the accident.
This bus has been sound all along. It has been sound. It went to Soro. It was coming from Soro back. It has no mechanical problem.
The wreckage of the bus remains were towed away to Lyantonde police station as investigations continue. The accident is just one of the many that has happened at this corner, turning it into a black spot that drivers should look out for. Solomon Serwanja, NTV.
Joining us in the studio to shed more light on safety on Uganda's roads is the chairman, Uganda Bus Owners Association, Fred Bahati. Thank you for joining us on NTV tonight, Fred.
You're welcome.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm okay.
Good.
We'll start with this tragic incident that happened today. Well, the traffic police can only do so much, especially in incidents like this. What safety guidelines do you have in place as the Bus Owners Association, and do you issue these safety guidelines to operators of bus companies?
Of recent we have had several meetings, and actually I've just been elected in, and we are addressing these issues of accidents because we suffer more, we the owners and the public and our clients or the passengers, we suffer more than any other person, as it's quite huge. So each time a bus crashes like that one, we the owner, or I mean the owner in question, suffers a lot. So we have come up, we had a meeting of recent and we were talking about such issues, and we are planning to have more meetings so that we advise all those who are joining the bus industry, the bus transport industry, the business, to make sure they employ people who have the right qualifications to drive a bus. Yeah, so it is one of the measures that we are putting in place, and in the near future we shall also have some inspections. Yeah, some inspections to help the traffic police.
Okay, quickly to precaution, as an association, do you sensitize and indeed scrutinize some of these drivers before they're entrusted with the lives of hundreds of passengers on our roads?
It hasn't been a common practice, though we have plans in place which we must implement very soon, and actually that's one of the reasons why I've been elected, to make sure I pioneer this, so that we can, we as association members, we as bus owners, we can have rules and regulations in place, and we can have some sort of monitoring. Yeah, but at least as far as I know, that no bus owner I know who has ever entrusted his bus with a person who does not qualify to drive a bus.
Okay. Now, talking about qualifications, I'll come in real quick here, Fred.
Yeah.
There are reports that this driver of this bus, the Horizon bus that burst into flames, was actually drunk before he veered off the road. What do you have to say about that?
I cannot agree with it. I cannot agree with it, but I know many times when an accident happens, such accusation is come up. Such accusation is come up. He could have just failed to negotiate the corner. And you see, when you are driving, just a slight mistake, by a second, just within a second, if, for example, you miss an edge of a road, and the tire maybe in a way or the other fails to stabilize on the road, it can cause such an accident. So we can't say that it was because of the drunkenness. No, we can't rule it out like that. It is very unfortunate that the driver also passed away in the same accident, but it could have been failure to negotiate the corner. And not also attributed to maybe lack of experience. Even experienced drivers do get accidents. Yes, so yeah, it could be maybe just a small mistake of failing to negotiate that corner.
Okay. Well, the defensive chairman of the Uganda Bus Owners Association, Fred Bahati, there. Now, according to the Uganda Police's traffic department, over 2,000 people are killed each year in road accidents in the country. It is also anticipated that well over 10,000 people will die on our roads over the next 5 years. Now, in a poll tonight, we ask your opinion on what you think, why you think road carnage in Uganda has persisted over the years. Why do you think road carnage in Uganda has persisted over the years? Now, to have your say, do text your opinion or comment to 8778 to include your name and where you are participating from. We shall read some of those comments during this newscast and also a little more before we wind up NTV tonight. Now, in what some may interpret as an act of defiance against the president, members of parliament have today delayed passing the budget as they rejected the prime minister's explanation of a failure to raise an additional 260 billion shillings for the health sector. Prime Minister Mama Mbabazi, in his statement, argued that this allocation could only be done next year. As Maurice Ochoa reports, the unanimous decision by the legislators comes despite comments by the president that their action would not be justified.
It was a stormy session this afternoon in the August House as members of parliament vehemently opposed the passing of the budget after the money meant for the health sector was not increased. This was even after the Prime Minister labored to explain how the Defence Ministry and other sectors such as the Electoral Commission was vital.
And this health sector has been neglected for a very long time. So it is high time that we pronounce ourselves on this matter, and what we are simply requesting from government, from the executive, is really to listen to the people's representative.
Mbabazi's pleas fell on deaf ears as members of parliament, both from the opposition and the NRM, demanded that additional 260 billion shillings be found to boost the health budget.
And parliament is saying we are not rubber stamps. We are not. And really, government should wake up. Members of parliament have put their foot down. They want money for the health sector. And it's good we rejected the statement of the right honourable Prime Minister.
We have lost a number of our mothers, pregnant mothers, to a district that I represent, Kiwale district. Some counties don't even have a center series, Mororo, Mpasana, and many others.
The hard stance by the NRM MPs comes just a day after their meeting with President Yoweri Museveni, in which he warned them against paralyzing functions of government after they threatened not to pass the budget. But that meeting itself appears to have left some MPs from NRM angry.
Sorry, for us to have increment in the money allocated for health services so that we have a healthy population, so that we can be able to support all the mushrooming health center 2s, 3s.
We are going to do reallocation now so that money is available now, and then because this will come from certain sectors, we will buy supplementary. When the time comes, we will fill that gap.
Statement given by the Prime Minister is wanting. Factually, it's not truthful, and really government should get serious with the lives of our people.
The Prime Minister was left with no option but was asked by the MPs to return with 260 billion shillings needed to recruit more health workers and pay allowances. Maurice Ochoa, NTV, Parliament.
Now, Kampala's Central Member of Parliament, Mohamed Nsereko, has today been charged with causing grievous bodily harm to a police officer, Godfrey Musobya. Honorable Nsereko, who denied the charge before Grade 1 Magistrate Julius Borore, was granted bail, but he is to reappear in court tomorrow for the hearing. Sehel Mugabe reports.
The Kampala Member of Parliament was brought to Buganda Road Court wearing handcuffs like any other criminal, but that didn't stop him from smiling. He was later presented in front of the Grade 1 Magistrate Julius Borore and charged with causing grievous bodily harm to a one police officer, Musobya Godfrey. Police also brought 2 eyewitnesses to give evidence against the accused. Nsereko denied the charges leveled against him before he was granted bail. He was bailed out at 600,000 shillings cash and 50 million shillings not cash on each of his sureties as court bond. Fellow members of Parliament Godfrey Chiwanda of Mityana North and Sanja Patrick were presented as sureties. Upon release, the crowds just went wild.
Abantu bangi abali eyo abakwatibwa ku bwereere bayitirivu so musikumi.
Chaos broke out downtown around Chiseka Market when police had to fire tear gas to disperse the supporters of Honorable Nsereko, who had gathered in numbers to welcome him from court. Earlier on in the day, relatives, legislators and friends of the Kampala Member of Parliament gathered at the Central Police Station in Kampala amid heavy deployments, demanding that the Member of Parliament be taken to court. Police had arranged to take him to court on Wednesday, but the voice of the people finally spoke and he was taken to court today. Nsereko was arrested yesterday by police, alleging that he incited violence among a group of his supporters who are reported to have beaten up a police officer. Sehel Mugabe, NTV.
We're going to take a short break right now, but still ahead on NTV tonight. Within these 5 member states.
Bringing justice closer, the East African Court of Justice opens a new sub-registry in Kampala to ease the filing of cases.
And on the farm this week, how China is encouraging its own to return to the farmland.
Stay with us. NTV Tonight continues with more stories after this break.
This is NTV.
Fieldwork has been defined by different scholars. Some think it is an art.
These are the blood types that are in human beings. We have A.
When a chemical reaction takes place, it involves 2 things.
We are given a straight line that has been denoted by 2x minus y is equal to 6.
I'm knocking. A message yali ku the last piece of a jambia yali muhadi wayo na.
No, bloody way, holy moly. We've just met. How can I be your friend? Mr. Rachmond. Okuzimba nyumba nga kintu kizibu nnyo banange mugumire mu bupangisa. Come.
I'm called Olar Oton. There's no English name. Just like resistors, Yakazol.
I blame you. You have option of getting international husband. Why do you get it?
This is NTV.
To be honest, it's one of the most scary genres of music for me. For me every day.
No one feels the motherland like we do. So tune in every day at 6 p.m. and Fridays from 11 p.m. for the best in homegrown music. Only on NTV, the station that celebrates local music talent.
This is NTV.
It's party time every day at 4:30 p.m. Feel the music. Try out your favorite dance strokes. Watch the latest music videos from artists around the world as you dance to the beat.
Girl, you got me screaming fiesta. Body language saying whatever.
Only on the beat, Monday to Friday on NTV, your official groove station.
Kwene embeera y'abasajja bano essuubi nga lyakuggwamu maama bano abasajja abanaatera n'okujja kusigiriza ffe ekiro basituleko emiwumbo gy'emmere bagitwale
sogera byange kibanda bana bagamba nga bagamba ne bweyagala nkubulira ebyange ja tugende emyanzi
mpulira banyumya babeera bakujerega waliko omusawo w'ekinansi e South Africa baba bakujerega ebituufu
baba banjerega oyo mufere mubbi yennyini yeetaaga miggo
omuntu wa bulijjo tomuzannyirangako abeeranga dormant volcano bwemba mukkiriza nina takuwa mugiyita
ate takuwa gobeera mugoberezi tolowooza ndi mulimu.
Welcome back. We start with a reminder of our NTV poll for tonight and some of your responses. We said, according to the Uganda Police's Traffic Department, over 2,000 people are killed each year in road accidents in the country. It's also anticipated that well over 10,000 will die on our roads over the next 5 years. So in our opinion poll, we're asking, what do you think road carnage in Uganda has persisted over the years? Why do you think road carnage in Uganda has persisted over the years?
Or share your thoughts by texting them to 8778 followed by your name and where you're texting from. Let's now read out a few of your responses.
Andrew Kaweka in Manafwa district, you say bad roads, incompetent drivers and overspeeding are some of the reasons why it has persisted. Accidents that occur in rural areas are also not recorded by the police. The number of accidents is twice what police has. Take Manafwa district for a case in point.
And Martin Solomon saying we do not have traffic signs on all major roads and drivers using public transport abuse drugs, and he says that way we lose a lot of our citizens. And he also goes on to say rest in peace to the victims of this morning's tragic accident.
Okay, stay tuned. We shall be bringing you more of your comments at the tail end of tonight's newscast, so do keep them coming.
Well, next tonight, the Secretary of the East African Community Beneficiaries Association, Peter Sajabi, was today arrested and his house combed by detectives as they searched for evidence that he recommended bank accounts be opened for 1,018 ghost pensioners.
Well, this as the police intensify their probe into the 63 billion shillings allegedly paid to the ghost pensioners between February and October of 2011.
Now, Sudibia Hanga reports the chairman of the association admits to the presence of the pensioners, while other suspects under police custody have also endured another day of grilling.
Today, Peter Sajabi, the National Secretary for the East African Community Beneficiaries, was arrested by police detectives and grilled at CID headquarters. While at CID headquarters, Sajabi's lawyer tried to shield him with a newspaper.
Is your work here to just shield people like that? What's your work? Is this your office? No, you
Sajabi is accused of recommending 1,018 alleged ghost pensioners who received 63 billion shillings between February and October 2011 alone. But his alleged accomplice and the chairman of the association, Santos Salima, today revealed that all the 1,018 names of ghost pensioners have never existed in the records of people who worked with the East African community.
Somebody from my place, they wrote the name. Surname is a lady, but the second name is a Christian name, is a man's name.
The allegation is that there is a presidential directive that all principal accounting officers from all ministries be transferred after 3 years. But there are also allegations at this time that the principal accounting officer in charge of pension in public service, Christopher Bay, has been serving the ministry for the last 15 years without being transferred.
This is the lavish home of Sajabi on Bunga Hill that was today combed by police detectives. It is not clear what the police detectives found here and at his other two private offices. According to our sources, officials from the Ministry of Finance have also got to answer how and why they allegedly forwarded ghost names to Bank of Uganda for payment. It has also been discovered that over 5 banks received the payments, and they too could form part of the investigations. It is alleged that Obey Christopher and his accomplice Kunsa Stephen, the Commissioner for Pension, all deny having forged the names of the pensioners. However, there are also fears that the money loss could even be double, since the investigations are so far limited to 2011. Sudil Biarhanga, NTV.
Security forces have been sighted in protecting wetland encroachers in the city. Kampala Capital City Authority Executive Director Jennifer Musisi informed Parliament this morning. Now, she told the Parliamentary Committee on Presidential Affairs that Buganda Land Board, Kampala Catholic Archdiocese Land Board and Namirembe Archdiocese Land Board and Uganda Land Board have gone ahead to allocate land in wetlands. Jingo Francis reports.
Last week, the Parliamentary Committee on Presidential Affairs, chaired by Firebrand Buyaga County MP Barnabas Tinkasimire, backed up KCCA to demolish an illegal structure on Plot 42 along Nile Avenue. The demolition came after the Executive Director Jennifer Musisi made a complaint to Parliament. This morning, Musisi tabled another petition indicating a list of over 200 wetland encroachers in the city. She says attempts by KCCA to evict the encroachers has been hampered by security forces who are protecting the encroachers.
The places are usually guarded with armed people, and our enforcement people are not armed.
Because what touches UPDF touches me so much. So I'm going to follow up this matter personally.
Among the encroachers cited are John Imaniraguha, who has encroached on Kansanga wetland, erecting an illegal fuel station. Sarah Kizito, wife to the Central Division Chairman Godfrey Nyakana, who is establishing a recreational center in Luzira without permits and approval, and Derimas Investments Limited, encroaching on Nachivo wetland. Musisi also informed the Parliamentary Committee on Presidential Affairs that cultural institution-based organizations and faith-based organizations responsible for land affairs and Uganda Land Commission have also gone ahead to allocate land in wetlands.
We do not have the records of Uganda Land Board or ULC, or the Catholic Church, which also is a big landowner, the Church of Uganda. So these bodies are the ones that would know which properties they have allocated.
MPs want NEMA to explain the wetland degradation under their watch.
NEMA has messed up this country. We need to do something about NEMA.
They will tomorrow visit areas which have been degraded to advise the encroachers to vacate before they are forcefully evicted.
All these people mentioned and those who are not mentioned but in wetlands should prepare to vacate these wetlands, otherwise the government is going to unleash all forces of coercion.
Jingo Francis, NTV, Parliament.
The Chief Justice Benjamin Odoki has officially launched the Office of the East African Court of Justice here in Kampala to enable Ugandans with disputes arising from a breach of the East African Community Treaty to register cases locally. Now, the launch was graced by the President of the Arusha-based court, Justice Harold Nsekela, and a number of top Ugandan judges who hailed the move as a step in the right direction. Here's Chris Ochamringa.
The Chief Justice and senior judicial officers from the region officially opened the East African Court of Justice offices at the Supreme Court building in Kololo. The office, that's technically known as a sub-registry, will enable Ugandans aggrieved by any violation of the East African Community Treaty register their cases in Kampala.
I congratulate the court and others in this objective of bringing regional justice closer to its users.
But the registry is there. Let us not make it a white elephant. There are elephants. Some of them are very small. And this could be another small elephant in Kampala.
Previously, Ugandans had to travel all the way to Arusha to have their cases registered and heard.
Any filing of documents, any request for any information you need, you don't have to travel to Arusha, but contact the court sub-registrar.
The court that was established in 2001 will also be launched in all the capitals of the 5 East African member states.
Life has now been made easy. Originally, to have your reference or application had in the East African Court of Justice, one would have to look for an air ticket, you get dollars, and go and file an application before that court.
Any dispute arising from a violation of the treaty can be directly taken to the Arusha-based court without necessarily exhausting the local court processes. The court has received 92 cases since its inception and resolved 52 of them. Chris Ochamringa, NTV.
China is the world's most populous nation with a staggering 1.3 billion people living and working across its well-industrialized 6 provinces. However, there is now a grand campaign by the Chinese government to ensure that at least hundreds or even thousands move back into the farms so as to expand food production and create employment. In this week's On the Farm, Reynald John takes us to a model village farm outside the Beijing metropolis, a move aimed at ensuring agriculture is a priority in China's development agenda.
On the Farm is brought to you by
ETG is supplying inputs to the farmers.
In the 5 decades following the founding of the People's Republic of China, great advances have been made as a result of the tremendous efforts to develop the rural economy and to improve people's lives around agricultural-related activities.
This model farm has at least 2,000 permanent residents with over 600 housing units. This enables them to work well within here.
In the east of Beijing, China's sprawling metropolis is this model village named after the 2008 Olympic Games that the city hosted then.
These paintings of farm activities are important in supporting people appreciate farming better.
Here, expansive ranges of greenery characterized with high-end facilities such as 5-star golf courses, model farmhouses, and vast fields of growing apples dot the farm.
Here we expect our communities to learn from best farming principles and practices.
Employing 600 million rural surplus laborers, township and village enterprises have helped to speed up China's rural industrialization process and lead to the mushrooming of a large group of new towns in rural areas.
I'm almost 70 kilometers now out of central Beijing into a rural village, but a model village, complete with golf courses, private residences, apple plantations, among many more. I'll be showing you around.
This is a golf court, and this is little apple, I think. I don't know its name, and it's very sweet. It's tasty.
For instance, since 1978, China's grain production has been increasing at an annual rate of 3%, twice the population growth rate in the same period, according to government figures. And now township and village enterprises in China produce an output value of more than 2,000 billion yuan, 30% of GDP, and 40 times more than the figure 30 years ago. Among ongoing strategies by the government of China are to optimize the agricultural structure and promote high yield, high quality and high efficiency, to implement the strategy of invigorating agriculture with research and education and push on the agricultural transformation, strengthening agricultural development and infrastructure, as well as process and improve agricultural production conditions, developing townships and village enterprises, optimizing the rural industrial structure and speeding up development. At an annual growth rate of 8.1% in real terms, the rural poverty-stricken population shrunk from 250 million in 1978 to 50 million at the end of the year 2000, and at the same time social welfare activities in rural areas have been developed and farmers' technical and educational levels as well as legal awareness improved. Through this vast and expansive farm characterized by plantations of largely apples, among others real estate properties owned by individuals and farm workers 70 kilometers out of Beijing. Through this initiative, the government looks forward to draw back hundreds of millions of its labor force away from the traditional economic domain of industrial activities into farming. Reina Ojen, NTV.
EDG is supplying inputs to the farmers, particularly to smallholders, and are buying produce from the farmers, processing, grading, and or exporting it directly to various parts.
Right now, John, and some of his exploits while still in China. Thank you very much. Well, up next is Malcolm Musime with NTV Business.
Got double, as in double word airtime. Get double word airtime and word double the fun. How do you do this? Load airtime and bam! Your airtime is doubled.
Worried. Make it happen.
Jakusa Finca! Starting August to October 2012, Finca is giving away lots of cash and prizes as we celebrate 20 years in Uganda. Open a savings account and maintain a minimum balance of 250,000 shillings for 2 months and stand a chance to win cash and lots of prizes. Finca, promoting and empowering our customers since 1992.
Already gets on the end of it, a little touch there. Manchester City! Oh! He keeps going, he gets on the end of it.
miss a moment. Get your PVR and enjoy all the action your way with so much more viewing control from DSTV.
There are many things that make us truly Ugandan. We are friendly and love buying Kawozi. We want a good bargain. The hotter the deal, the sharper we feel. We love any bimba and any reason to celebrate. We have a passion for sport and our celebration of life is contagious. So let's celebrate our Ugandanness with free calls, internet and more amazing deals. Celebration changes with Orange. Today changes with Orange.
Uninet invites the general public to the first ever National Women's Week.
This is NTV.
Kwene embeera y'abasajja bano
essuubi nga lyakuggwamu mama.
Bano abasajja bano abasajja abanaatera n'okujja kusigiriza ffe ekiro basituleko emiwumbo gy'emmere bagitwale
sogera byange kibanda bana bagamba nga bagamba ne bwagala nkubulira ebyange jatugende emyanzi
mpulira banyumya babeera bakujerega waliko omusawo w'ekinnaasi e South Africa baba bakujerega obituufu
baba banjerega oyo mufere mubbi yennyini yeetaaga miggo
omuntu wa bulijjo tomuzannyirangako abeera nga dormant volcano
bwemba mukkiriza nina takuwa mugiyita
ate takuwa gobeera mugoberezi tolowooza ndi buli mulimo oyogerera omusiraamu singa naakubuuza nti katonda yagamba atya
oba oli pasita ng'okyawa olimba obba oyenda olina abakazi basatu please heaven is waiting for you. One day you'll pay and soon your time is out.
Otiisa mmoni.
Sitiisa. Nkubuulira Yesu talimba.
Ebintu mbimala mulundi gumu. Kati what I love peace.
Gwokola byo.
Wegase n'omusajja mutwale mabi.
Era y'abasajja bano.
No one feels the motherland like we do. So tune in every day at 6 p.m. and Fridays from 11 p.m. for the best in homegrown music.
Thanks so much for watching NTV. You're most welcome to Tuesday's Business. Malcolm Sime. Now, consultants from Israel have handed over a report to the Kampala City Council Authority in a new fiscal infrastructure outlay expected to assist in easing the city's congestion and improve its competitiveness. The execution of the program, funded by the World Bank at the cost of 20 billion shillings, may however be delayed since an independent authority to oversee the city's planning is yet to be named by the line minister.
Kampala City Council Authority is continuing to gather views from various regional and international experts on how best it can kickstart a new infrastructural campaign. The World Bank has funded the Israel-executed study, whose preliminary effort is aimed at altering the city's planning to focus on improving the business environment.
What is left is for us now to develop a structure plan from what they are doing. What is holding us back as of now is the establishment of the Metropolitan Physical Planning Authority, which is supposed to be established by the minister in charge of Kampala, and myself, I'm a representative on that team, because ultimately the obligation lies with that body to approve that plan.
The Chief Executive Officer of the city, Jennifer Musisi, says that improving and conserving of existing facilities, particularly those with historical heritage, may constitute the initial redevelopment.
And one of the things we are targeting as a city authority is to restore art and culture in the city, and we are doing it in various ways, as we will be telling you as you go by.
Other observers at this Kampala meeting early today have emphasized the bottom-up approach of inclusion in the planning of the crowded Ugandan city.
Very important aspect of all this. You can bring all the designs and all these kinds of things, but as long as our governance structure and our economic infrastructure is not in place, we will always have this kind of discordant or schisms within the built environment. So,
Kampala City Council Authority received 20 billion shillings from the World Bank towards supporting the feasibility study on the physical infrastructure replanning. Raina Ojan, NTV Business.
Thank you, Raina. In the financial markets, the share price for several stocks fell, bringing down with them all the all-share price index, which fell to 1,131 from 1,134 in the trading previous session. Like yesterday, the Stanbic counter posted more activity, with Uganda Clays coming second. Let's have a look at this financial report.
Financial report is brought to you by URA, developing Uganda together.
All vehicles are required to revalidate their registration using our new online module and get a new logbook. All newly imported vehicles will also be registered online using this new online module. Get out of the line and get online.
The information and communication technology sector has continued to attract foreign direct investments, even as it struggles to shake off the chilling impact of the current spike in counterfeit ICT products. The managing director of ICT firm Red Dot Distribution, Munir Harani, notes that even with such challenges, the internal growth prospects and the projected return to such investment remains good and attractive to the capital.
Information and communications technology remains one among the farm economic indicators, with developing markets such as Uganda, albeit with common challenges such as counterfeits. However, a cross-section of investors are reasoning that room for much farm growth does exist in most of the East African markets.
Red Dot in Uganda is driven by a strategic value proposition, supporting businesses to leverage ICT and effectively position them to the next strategic level of their business, underscoring the importance of deepening the presence of international ICT brands in delivering superior ITC solutions, complemented by strong product and delivery platforms.
Speaking at the launch of a regional ICT distribution outlet in Uganda by Red Dot, State Minister for ICT Nyombi Tembo revealed that government is also moving fast to fix laws that should enable e-business and broaden space for business owners.
When the consumer is sensitized, I'm sure we would have taken the right step in the right direction. These short-term gains are, however, dangerous to the innovations which benefit all of us, equally if intellectual property is globally respected. The low prices of electronics we all enjoy as a result of the innovations that have been a result of very extensive research and development processes. We need to protect the innovators for the benefit of us all.
According to the Vision 2040, government is also expecting to ambitiously grow a joint export strategy for ICT from the current 1% to 40% out of Uganda.
That's all we had for you from the business desk. Much love. Stay with us. Joel Kamadi is standing by to bring you all the very latest in the sports world.
Save energy by enabling power management on your computer.
This is NTV,
Kwene embeera y'abasajja bano
essuubi nga lyakuggwamu maama.
Bano abasajja bano abasajja abanaatera n'okujja kusigiriza ffe ekiro basituleko emiwumbo gy'emmere bagitwale.
Sogera byange kibanza bana bagamba nga bagamba ne bwegala nkubulira ebyange jatugenda emyanzi.
Mpulira banyumya babeera bakujerega waliko omusawo w'ekinnansi. South Africa baba bakujerega ebituufu.
Baba banjerega. Oyo mufere mubbi yennyini yeetaaga miggo.
Omuntu wa bulijjo tomuzannyirangako abeeranga dormant volcano.
Bwemba mukkiriza nina takuwa mugiyita.
Ate takuwa gobeera mugoberezi. Tolowooza nti muli mulimo gwonna oyogerera omusiraamu singa naakubuuza nti Katonda yagamba atya.
Bw'oba oli pasita ng'okyawa olimba obba oyenda olina abakazi basatu. Please, heaven is waiting for you. One day you'll pay and soon your time is out.
Otiisa mmoni.
Sitiisa nkubuulira Yesu talimba.
Ebintu mbimala mulundi gumu kati what is I love peace.
Gwokola byo.
Wegase n'omusajja mutwale mabi.
This is NTV.
Fieldwork has been defined by different scholars. Some think it is an art.
These are the blood types that are in human beings. We have A.
When a chemical reaction takes place, it involves two things.
We are given a straight line that has been denoted by 2x minus y is equal to 6.
Good evening and welcome to NTV Sport. I am Joel Kamadi. Now the fixtures for the FUFO Super League that is set to kick off on the 25th of this month have been released today. According to the table, the first game will be between Debutant Sports Club Victoria University and KCCA in Lugogo. NTV Sport caught up with Mujib Kasule, the Vice President in charge of the league.
Right now the fixture is out of 16 clubs and the league starts next week. Ugandans have been asking when the league is going to start and they want to see football going forward. This time we are very positive and confident that the fans are going to come back into the stadium and embrace the league. So I think the excitement has already started.
Now, national coach Bobby Williamson is not taking the Uganda Cranes qualification for the 2013 Africa Cup of Nations for granted after losing to Zambia in the first leg in Dola by 1-0. The Scottish tactician has summoned a 23-man local-based team to start preparation less than a month to the second leg of the qualifier here in Kampala. Currently, all the local-based national team players are inactive following a delayed kickoff of the FUFO Super League. Uganda needs to beat Zambia by 2-0 in Kampala to gain qualification of the finals of the 2013 Africa Cup of Nations. Zambia are the defending champions of the competition they won last year in Gabon. Reports from Zambia also indicate that they have also started preparing their local-based players. Now, the Uganda Golf Fraternity will once again converge at the Kitante Golf Course this week to compete in the annual Uganda Golf Union President's Shield due to tee off tomorrow. The Serena Group of Hotels sponsored event is expected to attract over 150 golfers from the various golf clubs in the country. Sam Posa has the details.
This year's Uganda Golf Union President's Shield will tee off tomorrow at the Kitante Golf Course. Players in the professional category will play on Wednesday and Thursday and give way to the amateurs competition on Friday. The Serena Group of Hotels sponsored event will see the professionals share 7 million shillings and 100 million spent on organizing the championship.
This is the first presidential shield tournament that Serena Hotel is sponsoring in Kampala, which is to the tune of about 100 million Uganda shillings.
Serena, thank you very much. I want to thank Mr. John Muhammad in a special way, because when I called him, he did not hesitate. John Muhammad is the group managing director and he will be here on Thursday. He's also a golfer.
Reigning Uganda Golf Union President Amos Nzeyi believes the tournament contributes to golf talent development in the country. Nzeyi, who is serving his second term as president of the union, expressed worry over the increasing encroachers on golf course land across the country.
This is a normal practice when you have a golf course which is not attended to very well in some areas, then you get encroachers. It's been our big challenge.
The President's Shield is an annual tournament played at the Chitante Golf Course. Sam Poza, NTV Sport.
And that winds up NTV Sport. Thanks for watching.
Thanks a lot, Joy. Let's now have a look at Wednesdays with the prospects.
NTV Weather with
Roofings, it is the strength of our nation.
At Roofings, we strengthen the factories, homes, schools, and the offices that strengthen the nation.
Roofings, it is the strength of our nation.
We wind up NTV tonight with a return to our poll question. We asked, why do you think road carnage in Uganda has persisted over the years? Thank you so much for all of your comments. We'll now have a look at some of them.
Awuzu in Kampala saying road accidents are mainly as a result of indiscipline on the roads by the drivers, disobedience of road signs, and disregard of other road users. All of that leads to fatality.
Okay, Abdul Salam Ramadan Twinomu Juni, you say irresponsible traffic officers. For example, on the Mbarara Kasese Road, there are saloon cars that carry over 14 people plus the co-driver, and he can even wave at a traffic officer who waves back at him.
And Dungu Umar from Masaka saying the police was never and might never be serious about speed governors.
Okay, Hassan M. Hassan, finally you say ignoring safety measures. Whatever happened to seatbelts, speed governors and helmets? Have the cops forgotten about them?
Well, thank you very much for taking part in tonight's NTV poll. Another question for tomorrow. Be sure to have your say, and that winds up NTV tonight.
I'll be back for a final look at the day's news on NTV late night. For now though, thank you for watching. I'm Gabriel Apeno.
I'm Rachel Arinitwe. Have a good night.
This is NTV. This is NTV. This is NTV. NTV. This is 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 NTV.